Happy Friday. Today is the 22nd of September, and as it's Friday it means it is my weigh-in day. So today's video is going to be a weigh-in update along with a little overview of how I've been feeling this week, how I've done with my tracking and exercise on my weight loss journey. So I've definitely rediscovered that sort of drive and passion that I felt was lacking a little bit towards the latter end of last week, which is really good. I was a little bit concerned that I was going to come into this week and sort of still have that same feeling of just really having to push myself to do the things like exercising and tracking and, you know, just that drive and things that I've been feeling over the last few weeks and the commitment that I've been having towards my weight loss. So I think that was just a normal sort of dip in motivation and just probably feeling all the feelings, and just so happened that I was just feeling a little less motivated over them last couple of days. So over the weekend I did go away with Jim and went to stay with his parents over in North Yorkshire for a couple of days. Now I did make a video, I think on Wednesday maybe, I can't remember, and I sort of touched upon sort of some of the things that I was doing while I was there, things that I was eating, that kind of thing. Now I didn't go like ballistic with sort of foods and things like that, and I didn't actually track throughout the weekend. I did think that I did put some things into my diary, but when I went in and had a look today I realised that actually I didn't track anything. That being said, I was eating reasonably well whilst I was there. I was having some, I had a slice of wholemeal sourdough with some peanut butter for my breakfast, and then didn't really have much for lunch. I can't even really remember. Well, the Saturday we got there quite late on, so I'd already had something at home, and then on the Sunday, I think, yeah, on the Sunday we went out to a little cafe and there were lots of options, lots of things to choose from. I did end up picking a BLT on a wholemeal bread, which wasn't like the most sort of nutritional thing that was there, but then also it wasn't the worst either, so not too bad. However, on the Monday we did end up going to a fish and chip restaurant, and I did have some fish and chips, and it's fine. You know, these things are going to happen where I'm eating things that are a lot more calorie than I would normally sort of consume day to day on my weight loss journey or just in life in general. But on reflection, I do wish I'd have made a bit more of a healthier choice in that instance, because I could have done. So yeah, that's something I'm going to think about, and just, you know, think, well, yeah, I can have these, it's normal to go out and have a meal that's much higher in calories. That's just part of life, that's totally normal. But I had been out on the Friday and had a really high sort of calorie meal there, so probably would have been much better to have something a little bit more healthier and more in line with the foods and things that I need to be eating in order to lose this weight. So yeah, I'm not sort of super beating myself up about it. It is what it is. It's just something to sort of like take forward and think about going forward, basically. So I'm gonna talk mainly about sort of Tuesday through to today, because I got home on Monday and then sort of started my normal routine, as if you will, from Tuesday through to today. So if you did watch my previous video from this week, I'm so sorry if I am repeating myself, but something I decided to do this week was grab some fresh soups to have for my lunch and dinner. The main reason being is I was feeling quite overwhelmed just with life things, lots of stuff like that was consuming my mind, and I know in the past that this has definitely led to making decisions that are not aligned with what I need to do to lose weight. So I'd just basically get home from work, be really tired, Jim would be you know, cooking or something like that, and I'd just be like, I'll just make anything, and we'd end up having like something that was high calorie, wouldn't track it, blah blah blah. You know the situation. So in order to kind of like free up a little bit of mental space, and also to try and sort of make sure that over the next couple of days, whilst I was sort of getting caught up with my work and just sorting some life stuff out, that I wasn't gonna trip up. So I decided to do like the soups, mainly for that, because it meant when I was coming to have my lunch and dinner, I was literally just scanning the soup and that was it, basically, rather than, and I know it's not fantastic because it's, you know, obviously a nice chicken breast and some veggies and some rice and that kind of thing would have been much better, but I just decided to give it a go, just to sort of like give, like I say, give myself a little bit of breathing space and make things a little bit easier. So yeah, rather than inputting all of the separate ingredients, I could just scan and go. So yeah, and yeah, that worked really well. It did actually give me that bit of space I needed in my mind to do other things, and also ensured that I was staying on track and having something nutritious and healthy, and that was, yeah, that just basically helped in aiding my sort of like weight loss journey. I feel like I'm just rambling and rambling and rambling. Basically, all I'm trying to say is that's what I decided to do. So yeah, that worked really well. And then around sort of my soups for breakfast, I've been sort of having a protein shake here and there. I'm not like super hungry on a morning. I don't know why that's changed. I feel like as you go through life, your hunger levels do change, and you become more hungry in certain parts of the day. But yeah, not super hungry for breakfasts at the moment. But I have been having sort of protein shakes and whatnot. I've been tending to get the sort of ready mixed ones from the gym. So if I went to the gym in the morning, I would grab a protein shake and drink that on my way to work. But I decided to order myself some new protein powder. I do have some, which is, I really don't know like how old it is. I've got it in mason jars and it's been sat there for a long time. And a few weeks ago I did actually have one, but yeah, it's pretty gross. So I decided I wanted to get some more. And another reason upon deciding that I wanted a different variety was the one I have is I had a look at the ingredients and things that are in that, and it's not great. So I went with, I think it's called, oh, what is it called? It's like starts with NU, maybe New Life or something like that. I'll insert a little photo here. I went with this one because it seemed to have the cleanest ingredients available. If you have got any recommendations for protein powders that are very minimal to no sort of artificial additives, preservatives and all that kind of stuff, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your recommendations on it. But I went with this one. It's actually a pea protein, so it's not from animals, which I don't mind having protein powder from animals, but all of the ones I was looking at had a heck ton of really questionable ingredients in there. And something I want to try and do throughout this next week is eat a little bit cleaner, just sort of give it a go, see how I get on. I'm not being like super strict with myself because I feel like everything that I pick up at the moment has palm oil in it or rapeseed oil or something. So I'm not going to be super strict, but I'm going to just try and be mindful of it and try and just pay attention to those ingredients, and where possible cook fresh. This has sort of somewhat come from the book that I've started to read. I mean, I have always had a interest in food in terms of like the manufacturing of it, just because I've had an issue with food for pretty much my whole life. I'm very much interested in how companies manufacture foods to make them more desirable, so that we will, you know, when they're more highly palatable, we eat more of it. So I suppose I'm trying to kind of, I've got the interest there because there's a reason why I overeat, and I do think the majority of it does come from like emotional supports and things like that, and just a learned coping mechanism from an early age of I really like food, I don't know, but yeah, there is an interest there with it. So yeah, that's something that I'm gonna take into the new week and just give it a try and see how I get on. So yeah, I've got myself some new protein, so I think I will be making my own protein shakes next week. So in terms of tracking then, so from Tuesday through to today, I've been really good and really on it. I've tracked everything accurately, I've weighed everything out, and yeah, I'm really pleased with that. I'm really annoyed at myself though that I didn't do it over the weekend, because this time last week, excuse me, still recovering from this whatever, last week I did say in last week's weighing video, that I really wanted to be on it with my tracking this week, and yeah, it didn't quite work out over the weekend. However, from Monday through to today, I've been really good at it, and that's something I'm gonna take forward. I find it quite difficult sometimes when I've said something and I haven't, like when I've said that I want to do something and I haven't quite achieved it, it feels like I feel really silly. And I know that that in itself is silly, because life happens and things don't always work out the way we planned it. But this week, that is definitely another focus of mine, that I'm going to make sure that I am tracking absolutely everything. But from Tuesday through to today, I was on it with my tracking, and I feel like I've got into a role with it, so that is good. And in terms of my fitness, exercise and what have you, I have managed to still complete my Apple Ring activity log, which I think is a 45-minute exercise a day, 10 hours of stand, and 750 calories. I wonder if I got that right. After this many weeks, we shall hope. But so I have closed my rings every day. I have completed my 10,000 step goal every day, so I'm super chuffed about that. I have been to the gym every day. Well, every day bar sort of like Monday and the weekend when I was away. So the only thing I want to touch upon in terms of my exercise towards a negative thing is the fact that I feel like from now on I really need to up the ante with my exercise and just push myself a little bit harder. Maybe start increasing the weights with my resistance, and just upping sort of like the speeds and stuff in which I do my walks and my runs, and the incline in which I do my walks, up that a bit. Just up the ante in general. I just want to, going into this week, I want to sort of like go to the gym and just be coming out dripping with sweat. And I know that's not the answer, but I just feel like for myself, I want to really push it. I want to see what these last few weeks have done to improve my fitness level. So I think from sort of tomorrow onwards, I'm going to trial that. And another thing that I think I'm going to do this week is have a bit more of a structure to my workouts. So sorry. So I think having certain days for certain muscle groups, certain days for running, certain days for walking, so, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm going to make myself a exercise plan tomorrow and sort of see how I get on with that. I think for the last sort of 7 weeks or so, I've just wanted to allow myself to get into the routine of going to the gym multiple times a week, and that just become the norm before I overwhelm myself with, you know, regimes and things that I need to follow. And I think that has worked quite well, because now I don't really think, bar sort of last week on them couple of days, I'm not really having to push myself to go. It's kind of somewhat becoming ingrained, so that's really good. And I think now that I've got that, I can implement a routine and then sort of keep building upon that, so I can keep monitoring my fitness and it improving, and then make sure that I am adding the certain resistance so that I can keep improving, rather than just go and just do the same thing and then not improve. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, but I am so chuffed at myself for keeping staying committed to closing my Apple rings and staying committed to my 10,000 step goal. It's really helped having Laura alongside doing that, because I always, there are some occasions on an evening where I will be like, oh, I'm on this many thousand and I've got this many thousand to go, and I am really committed to not letting her down. So so that's been really helpful. I'm not sure there's much else to say on the workout front. Still really enjoying swimming. I actually noticed today when I was in the pool that I am getting a little bit faster, which I'm really happy about. I'm very, very close to doing a what's it called, a length a minute. I'm just under at the moment. So I checked my sort of log at, I think it was at 13 minutes and I'd done 11 or something like that. But yeah, I'm getting really close to being able to do that. Now that might not seem all that impressive, but I have only recently, in the last couple of years, sort of somewhat learned how to swim properly. Well, I don't even know if I can say it's properly, but yeah, learned how to do like the breaststroke and things like that. And I know I mentioned before about doing sort of adult swimming lessons, and that is something I do really want to do at some point. But yeah, I noticed today that I'm getting a bit quicker, which I was really happy about. And yes, I think that's about it for sort of food and tracking and whatnot. So moving on to weigh-in then, the main event of the video. I weighed in last week at 14 stone 11.2, and I have weighed in this week at 14 stone 10 pounds exactly, which is a loss of 1.2 from last week, and an overall loss of 1 stone 3.4 pounds. So yay for a loss. And similar to last week, I am feeling a little bit disappointed that I didn't get sort of like my £2 to £3 weekly loss goal that I'm really trying to get. But I've got to take into account that on the weekend I didn't track. I did eat more than I normally would have done, so you know, that's the reason why I can't be mad at the scale. Oh, I can't be mad at the scale. I've just got to make sure I am meeting all of my goals every single day in terms of tracking and exercise, align them. So that's what I'm going to try and do this week, is over this weekend. I've not really got anything major planned other than working from home. We've got Millie and Joe here with us, and yeah, just general life admin kind of stuff, but nothing that's gonna dramatically affect what I'm eating or what I'm doing. So I can go to the gym both days, I can sort of eat at home. So yeah, hopefully this time next week, I really want to see that if I am on sort of like on my calorie goal and doing the exercise every day between now and Friday, I really want to see excuse me, I thought thought my cough was going, and I feel like throughout this video all I've done is cough. Yeah, I really want to see what difference it makes when I don't have like the weekend where I'm not tracking, or where I'm sort of eating out or something. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. And other than that, just keeping up with my fitness goals, and like I say, upping the ante a little bit in the gym. I'm very excited to read more of my book, and I will share the most interesting parts of that next week. I'm hoping to have finished it by this time next Friday, so the more insightful parts of it I will share with you if you would be interested in that. But yeah, I think the main thing to take away from this week is I'm really happy that my motivation hasn't slipped, and I've sort of still continued to, you know, still continuing to have this same drive towards my weight loss. I wish I had a couple, like, wish I had like 2 pound loss this week, but I am grateful of the loss. I am happy about it overall, and yeah, onwards and upwards. Hopefully this time next week I will be saying that I managed to track my calories every day, ate nutritiously, did my workouts, and I have that sort of 2 to 3 pound loss that I'm really looking to get. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap the video up here. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, I would super appreciate if you popped up your thumb. If you haven't done so already and you would like to join my YouTube family, then you can hit subscribe below. Excuse me. If you do like my videos and you would like to keep up to date with when they go live, you can hit that notification bell. And until next time, stay happy, healthy, and well. I love you all very much. Bye bye.